2, 1, go.
On this week's episode of The Day We Make.
Today is a big day, but it's also a bittersweet day. My trusty Jeep Wrangler has been my adventure buddy for so long, taking me on countless trails to so many places. And so many campsites.
It's amazing. Rainbow is so big, can't even fit it into a frame of a photo. Yes, God is great.
Through the rain and the snow, the good and the bad, made countless meals, and making lasting memories with friends. I'm about to get into something that may be a little controversial for some, but I hope you stick around and listen to why I'm making this decision. The Jeep is iconic and legendary for a couple reasons. One, it's well known for its off-road capability, and two, for its durability in extreme environments and situations. I've had many Jeeps over the years. I started with a YJ, I had a TJ, I had a JK Unlimited, and now I have a JLU Unlimited. So I've been around Jeeps for a long time, and I really like Jeeps and the things that they can do and the places they can take you, and I really enjoyed my journey with them. Having said that, my uses for Jeeps have changed over the years. When I first got my TJ and my YJ and even my JK, overlanding wasn't really a thing in America, and I used it for vastly different things. I mainly off-roaded with it. I took it camping. I did many traditional things that most people do, driving on beaches, going out to the beach and enjoying the day. But since 2020, I've been overlanding, and most of those years was full-timing. I began to notice something about Jeeps that were different than some of the other vehicles that I've encountered since I've been overlanding. And that's what I'm going to get into. And maybe this will help you out, maybe it won't. I'm sure this may upset some people. I'm sure there'll be people that will support what I'm saying. So all in all, I think that it's just a good conversation, and these are just going to be my views based upon my experiences with the Jeep and since I've been overlanding. So I hope that we can have a good discussion about it and maybe learn a thing or two for me and for you guys. For the last 4 years, this Jeep has taken me to so many places and anywhere and everywhere I've ever wanted to go. It's truly been stellar, it's been remarkable, and it's been a great ride. But now I'm going to start getting into the reasons why I'm changing my platform. For more than 4 years, my Jeep Castaway has been my full-time home on wheels. Together, we've enjoyed 41 states, and along the way, I've constantly refined its setup, learning firsthand the best ways to live and travel out of a vehicle. So you might be wondering, after all of those memories, incredible experiences, and finally dialing Castaway into what felt like the perfect overlanding rig for me, why on earth would I change platforms? And that's an excellent question, and it's the very reason I'm making this video. My aim is not to only answer that for you, but also to share insights that could help with your own adventures and rig configuration challenges. But as life evolves, so do our needs. And for some upcoming adventures, I've decided it's time for a change. Today, I'm embarking on a journey to trade this iconic machine for another legendary off-roader. Now, this isn't just any simple trade. We're making an adventure out of it. We're hitting the road, finding some epic camping spots, cooking over the campfire, and soaking in the last moments with the Wrangler before its next chapter begins. For the rig delivery, I'm heading all the way to Oklahoma, and I'm starting here in Florida. That's a hefty 23-hour drive. So instead of doing it in one go, I'm spreading it out over a few days. And this gives me the perfect excuse to soak in some quality nature time before I hand over the keys to the Jeep and the exciting part, unveil the new overlanding rig. I'm starting this leg of the journey with a stop in the Florida Panhandle. Castaway and I have camped here before, so it's familiar territory. But this visit feels different knowing it will be our last one together in this spot. To prevent this video from becoming excessively long, I've kept my reasons somewhat generalized. These factors are rooted in what was important and relevant to my personal experiences living in a Jeep for 4 years, and they're tailored to address my specific travel and lifestyle needs. Consequently, not all of these points will necessarily apply to your own unique experiences and circumstances. This is one of the last few nights with me in Castaway after spending 4 years full time with this configuration and rig. So many memories, so many nights camping in so many places, which makes this moment all this more special. We are gonna have some taco chicken. I already have some jalapeno, onion, tomato cut up with our tortillas. Gonna have some fresh avocado, of course. Have a little fire going over there. This decision is based on 2 factors. Coming in at number 2 is payload capacity. The Jeep Wrangler's payload ranges from approximately 997 pounds to just over 1,300 pounds, depending on the specific model. The new rig offers a higher payload capacity ranging from 1,475 pounds to just over 1,500 pounds. There is no such thing as a perfect rig for all circumstances, nor will there ever be. As I waited for dinner, I kept the fire going, my thoughts drifting from all the adventures I had with the Jeep to the exciting configuration possibilities for the new rig. The day concluded perfectly with a good dinner next to a campfire. Since the fire was still glowing nicely, I settled in to the quiet relaxation before hitting the road again the next morning. I've made it to Arkansas, and I'm heading to one of my favorite campsites. It's a special place with truly fascinating topography and offers some absolutely incredible views. This campsite is beautifully situated on a flat-top mountain. It ascends dramatically over 1,300 feet from the terrain below, and its summit elevation of 1,755 feet. Not only are the daytime views impressive, but the sights at night are equally spectacular. This is why it's a special place. Next morning, I woke up to an incredible sunrise. It was a great way to start the day right for the next leg of my journey. Second major factor influencing my switch in rig platforms is the expense and difficulty associated with Jeep repairs. Diagnostic readings alone could run as high as $300, compounded by lengthy wait times for even basic assessments, like the 3-day delay I faced in Colorado just to get codes read. The new rig configuration, by comparison, has less expensive replacement parts and features less complex integrated technology, which is a significant advantage. After enjoying a perfect Morning sunrise, it was time to hit the road. This stop marks the final leg of my journey, and I'm getting close to turning the keys over. It's my final camp with Castaway. Now at my camping destination for the night, it was time to settle in, enjoy the views, and get dinner going. So for starters, I mentioned that I had a TJ and a YJ. And what I really loved about the TJ and the YJ models was its simplicity. There wasn't a whole lot to them. They were just mechanical machines, and they worked. They worked really well. They had an inline 6. My YJ had an inline 4. The motors were bulletproof. Always worked. And what I liked most about them was they didn't have a lot of electronics and fancy gadgetry and wizardry. I mean, they were just manual operating machines, and which made them really reliable and easy to work on. Since then, with the JK and now the JL, and I'm sure the newer models are, for me, even worse in that regard, in the sense of all of the electronics. So a lot of the places that I go to, you know, they're remote, and sometimes you're required to work on your vehicle out there because something happens to it. And what I've began to run into as time has gone on, and I've used this vehicle longer and longer, is, you know, it's very sophisticated. You know, there's a lot of electronics in here, and you need certain things to access, certain things to fix, or you need diagnostic equipment and codes and all of these things, which in some ways is really nice. It makes it faster and easier to find out what a problem is, and you know, it's useful, which is why we are doing it. But having said that, you know, a lot of these things are hard to reach. You got to remove a lot of different things to get to certain things, and I like just a vehicle that is more mechanically based and doesn't require a lot of tech and tech support and diagnostic stuff and things along those lines. And, you know, we're dealing with a lot of elements here with snow, really cold temperatures, a lot of water and things like that. And as we know, electricity does not like those things. So that's number one. Number two is something that I think even a lot of Jeep owners will honestly agree with me on, is the payload. You know, the old adage is that the Jeeps will take you anywhere, but you can't bring anything with you. And I can't argue with that. You know, it's absolutely gone anywhere and everywhere I've wanted it to go. I've seen other people do even more incredible things in their Jeeps that I haven't even done. But overlanding, and especially full-time overlanding, requires me to bring more stuff along than I traditionally did with my other Jeeps and with the activities that I was doing. And as a result of that, I've had to become, you know, ingenious in ways as far as being able to bring the things that I need and not even necessarily things that I want, all within that footprint and the payload capacity of the Jeep. And so I really just, you know, took on a mindset of like a backpacker, you know, because everything is weight and volume and multiple use items. And so I tried to do that as much as possible and used that philosophy and mindset to achieve what I've been able to achieve. And, you know, for a long time it's worked really well. But I think I'm just ready to make a change, because number two is going to be the payload. And the Jeep, there's just really, you know, and that's gotten a little better with the Gladiators. You know, the Gladiators are a little better than the Wranglers are, and, you know, I totally get that. But the Gladiators also have the problem number one, which is a lot of electronics and sensors and all of these things that get away from that mechanical baseline and mindset that I like with the simplicity and function of mechanical operation. I started this project 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, and it's been a lot of fun building out the rig and learning along the way to figure out how I wanted it to be configured and the different things that I would want and need to make my journey, overlanding journey, so much better. And also, it's just been great as all these new products have come out and integrating them into Castaway. So it's been amazing just to see all of the changes in the overlanding space in America since 2020 when I started. So there's a lot of things and issues that I could get into about this conversation, but I wanted to keep it focused on the two primary things for me, which was I like mechanical over electrical, sensors and gadgets and all these different things. And number two is payload. So let me know what you think. I'm curious to see if you agree, if you disagree, and why you disagree. And, like I said, this is just a conversation. It's just my thoughts. I'm not saying that, it makes it empirical and this is what anybody should do. It's just the move that I'm going to be making and my thoughts based upon my particular experiences living out of a Jeep for 4 years. So look forward to hearing from everybody and hope this helps you. If you're looking to get into a Jeep or get into overlanding, feel free to reach out at any time and I'll be happy to share my thoughts and opinions and experience with you. All right, guys, I'm in the final night camping in my Jeep, and it's time to make dinner. So what I'm going to be making is one of my favorite camp meals. I am going to be making pasta because it's delicious, it's easy to make, it's quick, it's a pot meal, and I'm going to celebrate this amazing evening with a nice pasta dinner. Well, the spaghetti is done. I made too much, of course. Leftovers for another day. Wind has died down. Temperatures are absolutely perfect. We are in the 60s. Lows are going to be in the mid 40s. And it's just a quiet
peaceful evening on the water. Love this spot in Oklahoma. Oh yeah. The next morning was perfect, and after coffee, I'd be heading in to meet the next owner.
Well, this is it, guys. I'm here in Oklahoma on a flawless morning. Beautiful sunrise, but this is gonna be also the last time that I slept in my Alu cab, and I'm gonna be stowing it away. So it's a sad day in a way, because I have spent almost 4 years living out of that. So a lot of memories. Been to a lot of places with it, but it's time for some changes.
It's time for the new rig platform reveal. Meet my new adventure companion, the 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series. Since bringing her home, I've wasted no time and have already dived into a build-out. A huge shout out to Micah from Micah's Mobile Service and Detail for the incredible help. Together we've given the rig a full Raptor lining, applied thorough corrosion preventative measures to the undercarriage, and installed fresh LED head and tail lights. If you're interested in services like that, definitely look Micah up. She does fantastic work. Moving to the interior, I've installed a versatile MOLLE system from SRQ Fabrications. They engineer a really slick system that's perfect for mounting electronics and keeping gear organized. And let's be honest, if there's one area classic Toyotas can improve, it's cup holders. So I tracked down and installed a fantastic new center console with awesome game-changing cup holders from Restoring From Home 4x4 from New York. You have to check them out if you're facing the same cup holder crisis. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'm excited to start sharing all the new adventures the Land Cruiser will take me on. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you've enjoyed the journey. Subscribe for more off-road adventures and camping trips, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on what's next.
Want to get even more involved with our community and support what we do? Join us on Patreon. You'll get access to exclusive content like behind-the-scenes footage, early access to videos, members-only live streams, and a chance to connect with us directly. Plus, your support helps us to continue to create the content you love.